Everybody, Questwise here, and after a bit of a hiatus, we're returning to the series of magic and role playing games, and today we're going to focus on the magic of Call of Cthulhu. There's been a lot of a lot of subscribers and viewers of the channel who've been asking about me to touch on the magic from Call of Cthulhu, and it's I put it off for way too long. It is a great game. This is one of my favorite games, kind of go-to games. And I came to this rather late. I came to this maybe a few years ago. I had known about it for a very long time, but just didn't think it was a game for me. And I was completely wrong. The reason I love this game is that sometimes I don't want to play a superhero in a role playing game. Sometimes I don't want to be a 13th level elf ranger. Sometimes I don't want to be a guardian of Mars. I want to be a real person investigating things in a world that uh, makes me feel comfortable. As odd as that might sound, but Call of Cthulhu, you are actually doing that. You are playing a real person. You're playing a doctor, a private investigator, a jazz musician, anything that you can kind of dream up, you can play in this game. And what's really interesting about it is that it's steeped in this idea of the real world, but there being things that humanity have either forgotten about or should have never learned about in the first place. It's based on the works of H.P. Lovecraft, who was a writer in the 30s, contemporary of Robert E. Howard. Um, Lovecraft really focused on that sort of existential horror, that idea that there are things out there greater than humanity, and more terrible to even behold, even try to have the human mind fathom. And so, what's interesting about the magic in Call of Cthulhu is that the idea that anybody, given time, given the right amount of knowledge, can learn it. Uh, what really focuses the most upon in Call of Cthulhu is this idea of sanity, this idea that you're tampering with things that are far beyond what humanity, what our mortal brains, our mortal souls should ever try to approach. And so the magic in this is very dangerous. And one of the key mechanics in Call of Cthulhu, the role playing game, is sanity. And you only have a limited amount of it. And every time that you encounter something that is outside of normal life bubble, your sanity will begin to slip, or you will begin to harden yourself against those types of horrors. So, for instance, if you see a violent crime being committed, or you see a dead body that's been mangled, these things will make your sanity slip. But beyond that, things like magical books, things like the Necronomicon, things like the Book of Endless Shadows, the Ebon Book of Egypt. These things that other humans have sort of enticed with, that they've researched, that they've contacted extra dimensional beings, and given this knowledge, are things that will shatter your sanity. And if your sanity ever slips down, and it's a score, an attribute like anything else you have. Once your sanity slips low enough, you become insane. So, again, one of the reasons I really love this game is because I think in role playing games that magic should be dangerous. It's a great power to behold, but it should also have great consequences for tampering with it. And that's what happens in Call of Cthulhu. The idea that these tomes, these scrolls, these etched tablets that you might find, and they could be anything from written in Latin or ancient Arabic or complete gibberish. And until you've sort of unlocked that code and sort of you've delved into that type of arcane knowledge, things will begin to, not only will you unleash sort of these immense powers, unleash these horrible things into the world. You're also teetering on that edge of sanity, of insanity, that's going to make you kind of slip and fall away. One of the, the coolest things is that if you're not familiar with Call of Cthulhu, like I said, it's based on the writings of H.P. Lovecraft, and the titular Cthulhu is this elder god. He's this immense being that is actually slumbering beneath the ocean here on Earth. And there are cults that worship him, that want him to wake up, because if he wakes up, he's going to end, some believe, the suffering of all mankind. But really, and what he's going to do is devour the minds and souls of everyone that is here. And to even look upon his countenance causes almost instant insanity. The rules for this are really interesting. There is just no chance for you to look upon him and ever escape unscathed. This immense being of things that should not be. So Call of Cthulhu, like I said, the magic in this is one of my favorites. I love the fact that there's this possibility of unlocking immense power, immense knowledge, knowledge of things that exist in this world, but don't should never have been sort of discovered by humanity. And that there are grave consequences, not only for your own sanity, but for the entire world, if some of these things are unlocked. So a lot of times you're playing investigators who are trying to hide this. They're trying to destroy this, to get rid of this, to remove this from humanity's grasp before it destroys everyone. So our latest entry into the magic system, Call of Cthulhu. I am Questwise, and until next time, I hope you stay safe, and I hope you are continuing to game on.